Hey guys, this is Eli, and welcome back to another episode of Eli's Kingdom. Now, first things first, I just want to give a huge thank you to all the love and support I got in the last episode. I know it had been quite some time since my last video, so I did want to try and come back in style, and we obviously created this prison that you can see behind us, and did a pretty cool time-lapse as well, so I really hope you guys enjoyed that one. I did get some lovely comments from it, and I think actually it's become one of my most viewed time-lapse already, because I think my previous one for the aqueduct I released about 6 months ago, and I think this new prison one's actually passed that in views, so it's been pretty cool. I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, this thing is amazing. I really love the look of this. I think it's come out really well, and I do love all the little features. You know, we've obviously got our little guard tower over there. We have some of the towers on the roof. It actually took several days to make. I think it was about 6 or 7 days in total, because obviously it had to be designed, and it took probably way too long just to get these skeleton guards up there, because I had to get name tags, name them, and somehow managed to retrieve them to get them up. So that was a long time. But it seems to be working really well. We do have a few escapees going on at the moment. I can see you hiding. I know you're there. But yeah, there was a bit of an issue. I think if you saw at the end of the last episode, we did have some issues with the guys falling down, dying, but that's easily been resolved because I think they just had crush damage. But we did have another issue as well in that, yeah, this happened. There seems to be a lot of villagers. They've escaped everywhere, and this is actually my own fault. I think I was missing a block in the water stream. So we have the villagers that get taken along the water stream, and when they reach this part here, they should get dropped down this stream here and then basically channeled into the iron farm, where they should get killed with the iron golems in the killing chamber. Now, I was missing a block here, and they were basically just spilling out in the sides, so it's not the best, but not the worst either. I think I'm actually going to keep them for now, because some of them are getting killed off by zombies, but you know, eventually we're going to be building another dungeon down here, so I think we'll probably need these villagers to channel down into that dungeon eventually, because we're going to have a few more cells down there. So yeah, it basically needs to be sorted, but I think I'm going to leave that dungeon for a couple episodes, because there's a few things I want to sort out first. Now, I think probably one thing to mention is the water streams that we built in the last episode, they weren't very efficient. I mean, I think if you saw what we had water streams being channeled all the way from our village breeder over here, and they actually go under the water. Now, the biggest problem we had is because the water blocks can only move, I think it's 8 blocks, we have to have a signpost, and then we have to have a fresh water source right afterwards. And the villagers were actually just getting stuck on the kind of empty spot. Now, I thought their little random walk, I thought that would basically mean they would walk into the water, but they didn't seem to be doing that at all. I don't know why. They were just waiting for the next villager to come along and just push them. So the water stream just wasn't a very efficient choice. Now, between episodes, I've actually gone around and I've just switched this up a bit, changed it out to minecarts. So we have a minecart loader over at our villager breeder, and then just on this side here, we have a minecart unloader. So the villagers hit these cacti, I'm not too sure. They hit these cacti and they should land on this spot here, and then they just get sucked up into our trading hall. So this seems to be working much better. Now, at the moment, these hoppers don't go anywhere. I think they just, I just put a couple in, and there's actually nothing underneath them just here. So what I want to do in probably the start of this episode is I want to build another sewer line, and we basically need to take these minecarts all the way back to our villager breeder, so that we've just got continually a fresh supply of minecarts over there. We're never going to be running out. So I think what we'll do is we'll build another sewer underground. We'll probably take it parallel to this path here, and we'll have a few access points underneath, and we can just transport those minecarts all the way back over. So let's go ahead and get started on that now. Progress update, and there has been quite some digging done down here. I've managed to make good progress with this sewer line, so far I think it's looking pretty good. I know it's very grey, I know I'm using stone bricks again. I did actually experiment here trying to use a bit more wood. I think we tried doing some wood steps up here, you know, some wood posts instead, and it looked good, but it just didn't seem to fit, because this is supposed to be a sewer line, so it is going to be pretty grey, and, you know, we need it to be built out of stone. It just doesn't really make any sense otherwise. So I know I have been completely overusing these, and I do need to try and stop using stone bricks, but there isn't really anything else to use, so I don't know. But yeah, we have 3 water streams here, or we will have 3 water streams. The reason we got 3 is because we're going to need 1 to send the minecarts back to the villager breeder. As far as I know, I don't think you can sort minecarts using item sorters. If I'm wrong in that, then please let me know down in the comment section, because I don't think there is a way of doing that. And then the other 2, we're going to need 1 to take take items away from this area, and then another one to take items into this area. So obviously this is where our iron farm is. We're going to need to transport the iron back out to our storage area, and then I think because we have the trading system up here, we're going to need to transport things like the rotten flesh and you know, any kind of carrots, wheat, whatever we want to this trading area, because we don't want to have to walk too far to get that. It'd be nice to have it in the area. I think this area here will actually be some kind of auxiliary storage for the iron, because obviously we have our main iron storage in the storage castle. I mean, we only have one double chest there, and we're actually generating quite a lot of iron. I mean, if we just head down here, it's not too much iron, but it's, you know, it's pretty much quite a lot for just a single player. So let's just check this out. I mean, this has probably been over the course of, you know, two episodes, I think. So it's actually been pretty good, but this is obviously going to fill up a double chest pretty fast. So I think by having some auxiliary chest over here, this will be the backup where the iron is stored, and then we can probably come up with some kind of clever system when, you know, the double chest over in the storage room, if that gets emptied or we use too much, maybe this can automatically send iron back to there. I really don't know. And then I think the other thing to say about these water streams is, I think I mentioned way back at the start of this series that we have our main storage area here, but we have our one central input chest only in there. And I quite fancy having a couple of these input chests just dotted around the kingdom, because obviously when we, you know, go out into the forest, we do our raids, we look for dungeons, we do whatever. We don't want to have to walk all the way back into Creeper Castle just to unload all of our items. So it'd be quite nice if we have a couple chests dotted around the kingdom where we can just dump all of our stuff in and not have to think about it. So I think we'll definitely need one of these input chests around this area. We could potentially do it underground, or we could do it inside this this prison area. So I'm not too sure. Oh dear. Hello. What are you doing there? So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the plan, but we're certainly making good progress with this sewer line, and it's going to be one of the main sewer lines because I think it follows this street. So I think this is going to be one of the main streets eventually. You know, it kind of takes you from the north area to the south area, and there is going to be a few, you know, branches coming off this. I think we'll have a bridge here going off to this side over there. So yeah, let's get back to digging and report back shortly. Well, that was a seriously big amount of digging. This thing took quite some time to do. My finger's kind of aching now from all the clicking, so I think we're going to take a little break from doing this digging. We did actually hit the river just down here, so I think this area, it should be pretty cool actually just going through the river. I think we can maybe do a glass ceiling or something just to, you know, change up this design a bit, and I think that should look pretty cool going directly under there. But yeah, let's just take a little break from this. I've actually been doing some work with the iron ingot storage, and I've gone and built these little miniature storage silos. I think they look really cute. Originally I had kind of a wall of double chests here. I was playing around with a few different designs, and I personally don't really like it when you see a full wall of double chests because I just think it looks a bit, you know, plain, boring. You can actually see all the hoppers behind, so it's a little bit messy that way, and you can't really do anything, you know, you can't put any blocks in between them. It's not very pretty. So these, if you follow my channel, you'll know that this is actually my storage silo design. I will put a link to the video in the top right corner if you want to check that out to know how to build these. And yeah, they should be very functional. Now, typically when we have a hopper line coming in, I think what's going to happen is iron ingots should come in, they would fill up one silo completely, and then they would move on to the next one, fill up this one completely, and so on. Now, I don't want to do that because I don't think that's very efficient. You know, I want these things to be filling evenly because I think that's just going to be way cooler. So in order to do that, it's actually going to be a bit trickier. We're going to have to play around with some redstone in order to achieve this. Now, I think what we can do is we can actually use item splitters to do that. Now, those of you who follow my channel will know that I've actually just released a video of item splitters this week. And I think we can use that to get what we want to achieve here. Now, typically item splitters, they'll take one hopper stream and they'll split items going through that hopper stream 50-50 into two different streams. So that obviously works if we have two silos, but because we have three, then we're gonna have to come up with something a bit different to do that. But actually, I think if we're actually gonna have four because we're gonna have the double chest over in our creeper castle. So we're actually gonna have four outputs that we need to achieve. And I think we can actually achieve that with three item splitters because otherwise, if I just illustrate this on the wall, we can have one item splitter which actually splits items into 2 different streams, and then if we have 2 more attached to each one of these, then we will split them into 2 more further streams. So I can't quite fit this in, I'll just squeeze it in there. We have 2 more outputs there, so in total we should have 4, and that means every 4 ingots that come through, we'll get 1 in each of these silos, and then 1 should get sent over to Creeper Castle. Now we are going to have to use the memory circuit for this because we need to actually remember where the ingots are going to get sent. I think, yeah, we're definitely going to need that because these ingots are going to be coming in so slowly. You need the memory circuit unless you have items coming in a constant stream. So I think, where can we build this? We probably can't build it. I mean, there's no point building it underneath because we need to take the items up top. We can't do anything above because that's actually where our prison is. So I guess we can probably do it in this space here and then just feed the hopper line over to there. I think that's going to work. Progress update, and this thing is looking so much more bulkier than I first anticipated. I mean, it's not even finished yet and it's already taking up a huge amount of space. We have 3 dropper elevators to take items up to each of these storage silos, and at the moment I've only built 1 of the item splitters in. Of course we're going to have 3 of them, and we're also going to need an item elevator to bring the iron ingots up to the top. So yeah, I think this thing is going to be pretty huge when it's done. And I don't think I explained very well in the last clip. These item splitters, they actually contain a memory state. Now the reason we have that is typically when you put items in an item splitter, they can, say in this case here, they can either go to the right to this item elevator or they can go down and to the left to this item elevator. Now usually you throw in a stack of items and you do get that true 50-50 split, but if you just throw in 1 item at a time, these things always tend to default to one side. So you know, 1 item would always go off to the right and we would just get everything going into this item elevator. Now by adding in this memory state, this thing will actually remember where the last item was sent. So if we send 1 item and it goes to the right, it will remember that, and the next item that comes along will automatically get sent to the left. And then it just keeps on switching back and forth between these 2. So we always get a true 50-50 split regardless of how items are coming in this hopper line. So that's exactly why we need this. I do cover it in the tutorial. There will be a link to my video on the top right of the screen again, and if you want to check it out, please do, because it is a pretty fun contraption. Oh dear. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Oh dear. We have zombies in the system. Oh no. Okay, in theory everything should be ready. I think we're ready for a full systems test. Just to explain how this all works, we have our central hopper line here, which is going to pick up items from the item elevator. I've just severed it for now just so we can do some testing. And yeah, we have our 3 item splitters. The first is here, so we have the first split. Items can either go down and to the left or they can go right. If they go right, then again they have another split here. They can either go down to the left or they can go into this hopper. Now this hopper will eventually take the items to our storage area inside Creeper Castle, and I think we're actually going to connect this into the sewer line as well. So this will probably join one of these water streams that should eventually take all the items into the storage area. Now the other items here, I think they go into the very left storage silo. If the item came down this way, then it has another split here, so it can either go to the right or it can go to the left. I think the left one is the very far storage silo, and then the other one is the central one. So hopefully this is all going to be working. Now it was actually my first time building an item elevator in Minecraft 1.11, so I had to look up a few new designs of you know, what to actually build. Now the design here is one by a YouTuber called McPeachPies. He's actually a really fantastic YouTuber. I've been following him for about a year now. He's a pretty small channel, very similar in size to myself, but I just love his videos. He's got a really fantastic style. He's got a really cool voice, so he's great fun to watch. If you want to check out his channel, I will put a link in the description. So massive shout out to him. Now, yeah, I did do a bit of a redesign for the killing chamber as well. This is where the iron golems should get killed. And this needed to be redesigned because we do have the villagers being channeled here as well. So we need to have some way to kill them. Now, this area is 2 blocks tall, which means the villagers should be able to fit down here, but the iron golems can't. So they still get killed by a piece of lava just placed up there. The villagers should get channeled down here into this delicious lava pit down here. And we also have these hoppers here, which should pick up the iron and the poppies that come from the dead iron golems. Now, there is an item sorter here for the poppies that just basically throws the poppies into the lava. I did consider keeping them because we can use them to make, various stain materials, but to be honest, I think we have plenty of poppies. I don't think we're going to need them. And then the rest of the iron should get spat out by this dropper into the water stream, taking up the elevator into our system. So, yeah, I think we're ready for a full systems test. I'm a little bit nervous because there's a lot of things that could go wrong here, and it is my own design, so I guess my reputation is on the line here. But let's do a little test. So I think if we throw items into this hopper, if we just do rotten flesh for now, so we can do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I guess in theory that should mean that we should get 1 in every single storage silo, and then we should get 1 also in this hopper here. So let's just check, see if there's any lights going on. It might have done it already, I'm not too sure. All right, do we have 1 here? Yes! Let's check these guys down here. Should get 1 in each. Yes! Come on. Yes! I think it's working. Yes! Fantastic, fantastic. That seems to be working, yeah. And let's just do another quick test. I just did 1 item at a time there. Let's just throw in all 4 items simultaneously. That should do exactly the same thing. If we just check to see that this thing is firing up. I mean, this thing is designed to be pretty robust. So, you can throw in 1 item at a time, or you can throw in a bunch of items. It should have the same outcome. So, yeah, that seems to fire all simultaneously, which is pretty cool. So should get 1 item in there. Yep, but let's check these guys down here again. Hopefully this has also worked. We get 1. Yep. 1. Yep. And 1. Yes, it all works. It all works. Fantastic. I'm really happy with that. Right, let's just go finish up tidying up this room because it's a bit of a mess at the moment. The walls are all horrible. I want to make this look really nice, and we do a better walkway here. Well, the room is looking considerably tidier right now. I just went and put some blocks on the ceiling, on the walls. It's kind of a bit gray, but this is just a redstone room. It's not supposed to be anything too fancy. I just want to make this look tidier than we do. Hello, Mr. Creeper. Yeah, this is actually the line going to Creeper Castle, so I guess it's fitting that we actually have a creeper here, and this is going to connect onto our sewer. Now, I will say that this has kind of been a bit of a weird episode because I know typically storage silos, you would normally just have 1 hopper line that goes along the top and it just dumps all the items in, and I've kind of massively overcomplicated everything by building all this stuff. But in a way, that's kind of what I like about redstone, is if you want to do things slightly differently, if you want to distribute these items evenly in the storage silos, then you can do that. You can pretty much do whatever you want with redstone. It might take a whole room to do it, but it can be done, and I think that's why I love redstone so much. It's just, you can do whatever you want. So yeah, this has been kind of a fun project for me. It's just something really kind of simple, but it has been a lot of fun. Now, yeah, just go check down these sewer lines here. This is where our iron ore should come out. It's actually going to connect to the same line as the mine carts. Now, I know that doesn't really make any sense because the mine carts can't be sorted, but I think what we can do is we can actually just pick out the iron ore at the, sorry, not the iron ingots at the Creeper Castle, and we can just leave the mine carts in there. I guess this line here is probably just going to be for all items going into Creeper Castle, so it would make more sense for the iron ingots to go in this one, but the line is on this side. It would kind of be a bit messy to take it all the way around to here. And then this middle one here, I think we'll have the water stream going in the opposite direction. We'll take all the carrots, the wheat, and everything up to our villager trading system. So in theory, in my head at least, it's all going to make sense. And I think while we're designing this as well, we'll leave some of these little alcoves. There's 3x3 alcoves at the side, and that means that in the future, if we need to add in a few more lines connecting to these water streams, we can do. So I think that's going to work. Now, I want to do something a little bit different to end this episode with. We haven't had a time lapse yet, so it's definitely time for a time lapse. And I want to actually try and finish with a time lapse because we haven't done that yet. So I think what we'll do is we'll just finish designing this hallway, the sewer line. We'll take it all the way down under the river, and then we'll connect it up to Creeper Castle. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode. And if you like this video, then please do hit that like button, and if you haven't already, then please do subscribe. I've been Eli, thanks for watching.